Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a fun one because I'm going to be talking about my makeup Christmas wish list. I didn't actually ask for all of these things for Christmas. I actually didn't ask for any makeup for Christmas. But these are brands that I've never tried before. They're products, obviously, that I've never tried before. And if I had like an unlimited amount of money to spend on makeup, these are the things that I would try first. They've just been on my list of things to try for a really long time. So I thought this would be like a fun video to make. Just talking about like the things that I would buy if I wasn't totally broke. Also, just a quick little disclaimer. I think my lighting is better in this video. I moved my makeup desk right in front of the window again. The reason I moved it like beside the window in the first place was because the light source, which is the window, is too direct and the sun was getting in my eyes and stuff like that. But I think it's going to be a lot better being in front of it because the lighting in my last video was just like, oh, it was just so bad. It was just so bad. So thank you for watching still if you did, even though the lighting was like absolutely atrocious. So what I did was I moved my desk back in front of my window. It's not a huge window, so that's kind of why I need to be in front of it because the rest of the room is like pretty dark. And I got Ryan, my fiance, to set up like a sheer blind in front of it so that the light wasn't so harsh and direct, so the sun wasn't in my eyes, and I can like adjust it, and I can like put the blind up all the way on cloudy days, and I can put it down if it's super sunny and the light's too direct. So I'm hoping that that will work and that will like solve my issue because it was like a super cheap fix and I just don't have the money. This pandemic, it's just been so bad. I've been so broke. I've been living from like paycheck to paycheck. Like it's been a struggle because I'm not allowed to work again. And when I say paycheck, I mean like government provided unemployment income because I'm not allowed to work like at all. So yeah, that's how broke I am. It's not a fun time. I can't wait until I can work again, you know, like I finally see the light at the end of the tunnel with the vaccines coming out. So I'm hoping that things will like get better soon because like I can't even afford Christmas gifts. I'm making everything. Yeah, it's been a struggle. So if you're struggling with finances, just know you're not alone. But let's pretend that we have money to spare today and let's talk about things that I want to try. I don't know why I said that. I'm just like really excited to talk about it because I recently have been watching Lauren May Beauty and she talks a lot about indie brands, and I've just been super into indie brands, and I've never really, I don't think I have any indie brand owned things besides like ColourPop, but they're not really indie, they're really mainstream, so I don't know. I don't think that counts. Also, if you're wondering what's on my eyes today, it's the At Foresight by ColourPop. It's just two shades. I just used the shade Puffball and the shade Homegrown, and then I used one of the Super Shock shadows in the shade Mycelium, and then I just applied this generously to the lid. I just took it up really high up on my eye and I really love how it turned out. I'm wearing a lot of ColourPop today. My blush is also ColourPop. Highlighter is a Super Shock Cheek. I finally figured out how to use these. I complain all the time that the Super Shock highlighters don't work for me, but I finally figured it out. I used it on my finger and I used it so lightly, like just lightly tapping so I didn't disturb my foundation that's underneath, because that was my problem. My foundation underneath would always be disturbed, but if you just apply it super lightly, and it requires some patience, I will say. It takes a lot longer. Like if I was in a hurry, the Super Shock highlighters would not be my first choice. I would just go with a powder, but you just slowly build it up with your finger and really, really lightly, and it doesn't disturb the foundation underneath. So I really like how the highlighter looks. I think it's super pretty. What else? The eyeliner is also ColourPop. It's the shade Sunnyvale, I think. The lips are What's Your Sign in collaboration with Kathleen Light's BFF lip pencil. And I think the gloss is by Kylie Cosmetics. Anyway, in case you're wondering, I don't know if people were, but enough with the rambling. I'm gonna scooch on over and we can talk about some launches that or not even new launches. A lot of these products aren't even new, but just products that I personally want to try from new brands that I've never tried before. So if I had some money to spare, I would go straight to the JD Glow Cosmetics site. I really want to try their Galaxy eyeshadows. They are so freaking beautiful. In particular, the shades I would want to try are Unexpected, which is like their cult favorite, I guess. It's kind of like the color that they're known for. It's so beautiful. The next one I would want to try is called Good God. Good God. It's like a pinky base with like a silvery icy blue duochrome. Oh, I'm out of focus. But yeah, I would try the shade Unexpected, Good God. I don't know why I'm saying it. It's good God, but it's like spelt like good God, you know what I mean? So beautiful. And I think I would also want to try Fairy Acid. It looks so beautiful in the promo photos, but I Googled swatches and I'm not sure if I would like it as much as I do in the promotional photos, but I would still try it. Like, I feel like it would still be beautiful. So those are the three that I would pick. Those are their Galaxy eyeshadows, and that's like the site I would go straight to if I was, you know, rolling in dough, which I'm not. Next up is supporting a local brand, even though they're like super popular. It's Cleona. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And I would try the glitter multi-chromes. The thing is, with their stained glass collection, there's so many colors. I don't know what I would choose because there's just so many options. So I think if I had the option, I think what I would do is I would go for a bundle. I would either go for the glitter type iridescent multi-chrome bundle or the glitter multi-chrome bundle, but that one's $210 Canadian. Like, well, thank goodness it's Canadian dollars, because if it was American dollars, I would not buy that. But like, that's a lot of money, but you get quite a few shades. I don't know, they're just really beautiful. They're really beautiful. Or I would try the pastel multi-chrome bundle, which is only $58. So maybe I could like dabble in that way with the more affordable one. The only thing with the pastel multi-chrome bundle is they're not really pastels. At least they don't look it in the promotional images. But yeah, I think I'd be most inclined to go with the glitter multi-chrome bundle because it just has so many options. I feel like I would just get to try like, you know, so many, and then I can, you know, kind of add to that collection later. But the glitter type iridescent multi-chrome is also very pretty. Like, those are my types of shades. Like, I really like, you know, like light and sparkly. Oh my gosh, I really want them. They're based in Toronto. I'm located in the greater Toronto area, so I'd be kind of supporting local, right? Not that they need my support. I reached out to them to see if they wanted to work with me, and they were like, yeah, we don't really need that right now. And I was like, oh, okay, which is fine. I don't mind paying for stuff that I want. So, but they are a little bit pricey, but they are so beautiful, so beautiful. So those are like the top two things. I've been really into like single shadows, and like, I don't know, I just feel like indie brands do single shadows so well. Like, why can't mainstream brands make what? Why can't mainstream brands make shadows that are just that gorgeous? I don't understand. The shadows that mainstream brands make, it's like, there's not even a comparison. Maybe because it's too expensive to like add all of those like multi-chrome pigments to it. I don't know. They should get on that, because like, that's pretty. Next up, I would want to try Kaleidos. I was not interested in this brand for a while, and then all of a sudden I was. I don't know what happened, but if I was to try an eyeshadow palette, I would go with one of the smaller ones. They do have an eyeshadow palette called the Escape Pod that's quite a bit bigger, but just to test out their formula to see if I like it, I'm sure I would. I've heard really good things. I would try one of the smaller 6 pans. And the one that I would try is the Futurism, oh, what number is that? 6. I believe that's 6. The Lunar Lavender palette. I love purple eyeshadow. I'm just so drawn to it. So that's the palette that I would go for. I think the color story is really beautiful, and that's just what I would pick. I just really like it. I'm just really drawn to it. And yeah, I think it's super pretty. The packaging is also beautiful. But what really gets me about Kaleidos is their space age. Yeah, the space age highlighters. Like, I love that they have kind of a translucent base and then like just a bunch of reflect in it. I feel like that makes it super wearable for a lot of different skin tones because of that translucent clear base. The shades that I would want in particular are Ray Rider, which is kind of like a champagne. I feel like that's like the safest one. It's like not really colored at all. That's the one I would want to try because I feel like that's the one I would get the most use out of. I've never really been into that colored highlighter trend. It just wasn't for me. Like, even when Anastasia was releasing the Moonchild Glow Kit and the Aurora Glow Kit, I think it was, I wasn't interested at all. I would also like to try the Star Surfer one, which is like a pinky tone, which is probably the craziest and most daring I would go in terms of highlighters, but still super beautiful. And I love that clear base. That's the part that gets me. I think that's like the most unique part. I feel like a lot of highlighters have a strong colored base. And finally, I would try Diamond Dasher, which is like a pinky champagne. It's kind of a mix of the two previous that I talked about. They're just so beautiful in the online applying photos. I would so want to try that. That's so pretty. I feel like on the eyes that would be beautiful too. I would much rather try the Space Age highlighters over the eyeshadows from Kaleidos, but like if I'm gonna place an order, I may as well, like, you know, dabble in both. Fantasy land of if I was even able to place an order. Let me just like emphasize that even more, how broke I am. Next up, this isn't really an indie brand. There are some brands that aren't indie in this. I just kind of like clumped it all together into one, but I feel like the majority of what I'm talking about was indie brands, so I figured I would just, I don't know. Anyway, this one isn't really indie because it's in Sephora, but I've never tried it, and it's the Inky List. I probably will try this one sooner rather than later because I feel like I'm way more likely to try new skincare than makeup, because skincare I can actually justify. I'm like, oh, I need this moisturizer because my skin's dry in the Canadian winter. So if I'm out of moisturizer, I'm way more inclined to try that than like a new eyeshadow palette. I don't know if that makes sense. So from the Inky List, I would want to try the Peptide Moisturizer. I feel like that one kind of resembles the Drunk Elephant Peptide Moisturizer. It's like the proteiny one, proteiny peptide moisturizer. I never tried the Drunk Elephant one because I was really obsessed with the Lala Retro moisturizer for a while, so I don't know. I wouldn't be able to compare them, but I feel like the packaging and stuff, they kind of look the same, you know? And I would also really like to try the glycolic acid toner because my skin just loves glycolic acid. It really does. So those are the two that I would try. It's also like a fairly affordable brand. The Peptide Moisturizer is $18.99 Canadian versus the Drunk Elephant one that's like literally like, I think it's $80. So that's a lot of savings if they're comparable. And yeah, that's what I like about the Inky List is that, you know, it's kind of like The Ordinary, but I find The Ordinary doesn't have a super good moisturizer that my skin really loves, so that kind of sucks. So that's why I would want to try the Inky List. I just feel like it's a much more affordable option to skincare, and that's kind of what I need right now. Next up, the brand, also not really an indie brand because it's in Sephora. I want to try Kaja. I was really not into Kaja for a long time, but then I saw swatches of the shimmer bento boxes. Oh my gosh, they're so pretty. Specifically the shimmer ones. I have enough matte eyeshadows. Like there's plenty to go around. I don't need more matte eyeshadows, but I feel like the shimmer ones, I would like to try that formula. They look super beautiful. I'm not really interested in anything else from Kaja. I feel like a lot of it is just gimmicky, but the shimmer bento box, specifically the one in toasted caramel, I just feel like that's the shade that I would get the most use out of with all those neutral tones. So yeah, that's the one that I would definitely want to try the most, and that's probably the one I would get if I were to dabble in that brand. Every time I say dabble, I always kind of go like this. I don't know why, I'm so sorry. One brand that I've been really wanting to try, first of all, because I love her so much. Second of all, because I love fragrance. I want to try Forever Mood by Jackie Aina. Honestly, I think all of her scents sound super delicious, but recently I was just looking up the notes for her Christmas collection, I think it was, and the scent You Up, oh, so lovely. Let me just read you the notes here. I just type in Forever Mood into Google because I never know which vowels are taken out of forever. Yeah, so it's the shade, or not the shade, the scent You Up from the Scents of the Season scent. So the description is cookies are out, but they ain't for Santa. Top note is buttery caramel, heart cinnamon sugar, base vanilla. I am like a vanilla girl all the way. I also really like cinnamon. That just sounds so delicious and I just want all of them. They all sound really good. They are a little expensive. I get why, but it's just, it's not, you know, it's not feasible for me right now. I just have to stick to my Bath and Body Works $10 candles for now, because once I get some money, girl, you know I'm gonna be supporting Jackie. So I think if I were to get one, that would be the one that I would get. Another brand that I really want to try is Danessa Myricks. Specifically what I want to try from her are the Twin Flame Multi-Chrome Pigments. They are liquid eyeshadows and they look super duper stunning. The swatches look so beautiful. They look so sparkly and reflective. A girl can dream. I don't know which shade I would get specifically if I could choose. Maybe Lover or Sweetheart or Angel Heart looks pretty too. Honestly, I don't think I'd be able to choose. That's a whole other problem that I would have. Amore is very pretty. Crazy for You. Oh, probably Crazy for no. Yeah, I can't decide. That would be a hard decision to make. So maybe it's best that I like don't try any of them. Another brand that I want to try is KKW Beauty. I know that it's like kind of mainstream, and I know that I roast a lot of her eyeshadow palettes. And I still stick to my opinion that she just releases the same colors over and over again. However, her lip pencils and lipsticks, they have such a beautiful nude range and such a wide nude range. I would just love to try them. I feel like this purchase would be more for my kit because the lip pencils and lipsticks, like she just has a color for everybody. So I feel like it would more so be for my kit than for me personally. However, it's still a big desire. It's still a want. I'm lusting after it, even if it's for my kit. I think that she did such a good job at inclusivity when it comes to her lip products. I would probably want to try them out first for myself before I go out and buy, you know, like every single color. I don't even know if I can get them in Canada. Probably from the KKW website, I would assume, but you know, not from Ulta anymore because they don't ship to Canada. Another thing that I would be interested in, again, I'm kind of like a fragrance lover. So KKW fragrance, it kind of goes under the same umbrella, obviously, because it's all Kim Kardashian. She came out with 3 new fragrances, Crystal Peach, Crystal Rose, but the one I'm interested in is Crystal Vanilla. I don't know what the notes are in this one. Let me find it. But I am such a fragrance lover. I want to sniff everything. For example, if a lip gloss has a unique scent, there is a probably 50% higher likelihood that I will purchase that product just because it smells good. I feel like Kim would make vanilla, but like classy. I don't want to smell like fresh made cookies. Well, that wouldn't be a bad thing, but I like vanilla, but like a little less sweet vanilla. I don't know if that makes sense. So the top notes of this fragrance are orange essence, sparkling sugared fruits, and winter wild berries. The middle is vanilla chiffon, winter honeysuckle, and poinsettia flower. The dry notes are cocoa butter, vanilla absolute, and benzoin resi. I don't know what that smells like, but I would want to try that. I'm not going to order it online because I'm such a sniff in person kind of gal, but I just feel like that sounds delicious. I don't know. And like classy, you know, vanilla, but like grown up vanilla. So that's kind of on my, it's not even on my wish list. It's on my like want to smell list. Anyway, back to makeup. Another brand that I really want to try is Melt Cosmetics. I feel like I've heard quite a few people have an issue with their formula, but I really want to try it for myself. In particular, I think I would go with the She's in Parties palette. She's in Patties. That's a typo in my notes. That's so funny. She's in Parties palette. It's just, I really like purple. That's pretty much it. And that palette is super beautiful. Just that color story is just right up my alley, like chef's kiss. So pretty. So I feel like if I were to dabble in Melt Cosmetics, that would be the first product that I would try. Another brand, this is kind of broad, I feel like, but I really want to try Sydney Grace single eyeshadows. I've heard such good things and they are so pretty, and I feel like they're pretty affordable too. I'd have to double check on the price. This Sydney Grace shadow called Pistol, what? Like that is so beautiful. Why can't mainstream brands make shadows like this? Like that is so stunning. And they have these multi-chromes, Alexandrite's beautiful, Phoenix, Flamethrower. I feel like that one's so unique, and Dragonfly. Oh my gosh, they're all so beautiful and so unique. Like I don't have anything like that in my collection. I definitely don't have anything like that in my collection, and I love that they're singles, so I don't have to buy a whole palette just to get that one color. You know what I mean? They're just so beautiful. I wish that mainstream brands would do this, but I mean, actually, I guess it doesn't really matter because I don't mind supporting indie brands. I just think that that's so beautiful. They're so pretty. So yeah, that is another single shadow brand on my list that I would really like to try. I think I would go for JD Glow and Cleona first, but I think Sydney Grace, that's a close runner up. And finally, I want to try Thrive Cosmetics. I feel like a lot of people have talked about them. I also reached out to see if they wanted to work with me and they told me no. But what I want to try in particular is their mascara. Kathleen Lights talks about their mascara all the time, and their bronzer. One of my subscribers commented and said that the Thrive Cosmetics bronzer is really good. However, I looked at their shade range and there's only one. So I don't know about that. I was all about the bronzer until I found out there's only one shade. The shade does look really nice for my skin tone in particular, but I don't know if I want to support like the lack of a shade range, if that makes sense. Okay, and that is it for this video, I think. I was trying to think of other brands that I want to try, but I feel like I don't want to overwhelm myself with like how much I want to try, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna leave it at that for now. So when I do get money, I'm not overwhelmed. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what is on your wish list. What do you really want to try? I would love to know. I'm just super curious about what people haven't tried and they want to. Also, as of recently, I've been looking for new indie brands that I'd like to try. I don't know why, but I've just been super into like indie. I think because all of these mainstream brands are honestly boring me. Like I walk into Sephora and I'm like, I'm bored. Give me sparkle. Give me multi-chromes, give me something new that isn't a gimmick. I feel like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. So since mainstream brands are boring me, I'm just gonna go to the independently owned that are, you know, having a little fun and adding a little spice to their products. Anyways, that is it from me today. Thank you so much for tuning in and thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, please don't forget to subscribe. It really helps me out. If you don't, that's okay. I really just appreciate you being here. It really helps my channel out just you watching, so thank you so much. Please let me know if you have any requests in the comments down below and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!